right, welcome back. Welcome back. Wow. Off to a rip-roaring start.
Welcome back. I'm more of a welcome Beethoven kind of guy.
Welcome Mozart to everyone.
Welcome Mozart. Welcome Mozart.
I do.
Welcome Bach. Welcome Mozart. Welcome Vivaldi to Greenbox Gaming plays Delta Green in Impossible Landscapes. My name is Joe. I'm pretty sure I haven't had a stroke, but we'll find out as we go on. I am joined by my friends, some of the absolutely most incredibly adequate people I have ever met in my life. Starting off with Jean.
The nicest thing anybody has ever said to me.
That's so sweet. Yeah, I've had a tough day, and that's beautiful. Thank you.
Jean playing Benedict. Yep.
You're so adequate too.
Thank you. And of course,
I'm glad we got that recorded.
Yeah. And of course, Dace playing Benji.
Glad to be here. Glad to be adequate.
That's as always. And of course, lastly, Brad playing Hank.
Hello.
That's adequate. That's an adequate.
That is
Spot on.
the minimum amount of effort to get the job done.
Right.
That's what we like around here.
And that's what Greenbox Gaming. That is the Greenbox Gaming guarantee. It will do. And that is. That's what we're looking for. All right. How you guys doing? How everything's going? Okay, don't all rush. Okay, cool. I know we might have some background music from Dace's location, where he's working. He's recording from a sweatshop, and I'm pretty sure there are several people chained to machines in the background who have some very specific quotas.
Wait, so this spot doesn't have AC as well?
It's climate control, but we got the dryer running and the flasher running, so I'm sweating.
Okay. How are
There's AC there.
How are the employees doing? Have you watered them recently, or do they have to earn that?
You actually have to work for 3 years before you get water privileges.
That's fair. That's fair. Tough but fair. I had a question for you guys. It was something that I actually I was thinking about the other day because I was driving back and forth, and I got thinking about our old campaign. I got thinking about when we were playing through Control Group for the first time. And there was something kind of specific that I wanted to ask you guys about, which was I want to read you guys something that you're definitely familiar with. That you were first presented when we were doing Control Group, when we were learning to play Delta Green. That was presented to you on a sticky note. Number 1, stop the incursion. Number 2, obscure the incursion. Number 3, obscure Delta Green's involvement. Number 4, secure technology and artifacts. Number 5, save lives. Now, that is the kind of priorities of work for Delta Green. And there's some nuance there that I'm not going to get into. But, that was, when we first got to the last full-blown Delta Green mission of Control Group, you guys were presented with that. Jean's mentioned it a time or two, especially like back in Chapter 1 for Impossible Landscapes. And one of the things I want to ask you guys about is when it comes to the way that Delta Green compares to other games and how these kind of like priorities make things different than other games that you've played or other games that you've watched or listened to, maybe. Like, how do these priorities kind of set Delta Green apart for you?
They're not. I mean, they're numbered and they're ordered, but they're conflicting, and
True.
It's kind of like you can choose 2. You've got 5 that you got to do, and you got to choose 2, which makes it really interesting.
So you think that they're they're really mutually exclusive?
Yeah, you can't do everything.
Yeah. Well, what about like
There's also like not die is implicit, but not on the list, and I don't like that.
It's not on the list, guys.
Do not die.
Well, like if you were playing a mystery campaign or a mystery kind of setting for like Blades in the Dark or Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder, like how does Delta Green set itself apart in that way by having these kind of standards? I guess as an in-game organization.
Makes it a lot trickier.
Yeah.
I was gonna go the opposite way. In some ways, it makes it more organized. Because if you do have, I don't know, sometimes, I don't think we got into this, but I can imagine, like, sometimes in Dungeons and Dragons, it's like, it's kind of like set up to where the goal is whatever your character's goal is, which can be conflicting with other characters. And it's like an unspoken rule that, okay, we got to work together and play as a group to have fun, in Dungeons and Dragons.
Like if you have your paladin and
Sort
your
of.
rogue in the same the same party, yeah.
You got to find some mutual ground where this is like straight up, okay, everybody has like an objective. So it's I think it's better for like a group collaborative effort in that sense.
Yeah, I agree with that. But there also is room for a little bit of nuance in there. Like Benji's objective of learning all he can about the occult, that sometimes goes directly against the group's objective.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. There is like that automatic group goal that everybody's striving for. There's no question.
But to that, there it has been kind of balanced because he's almost been off several times or gone insane or
Right.
is about to go insane. So because of that,
Well, I think it's
you're
like
gonna get kicked out of the group one
well,
way
it's
or
weird
another.
because
the
something
rules
that
of the game.
well, something that doesn't really happen in like other not that never happens in other settings. But one of the things that can happen in Delta Green is when a character's personal pursuits or their personal mental issues kind of become in conflict with those priorities. There is that kind of underlying thing, and like you read about it in like the player's book and and stuff like that, that the players, or not the players, the characters can become the mission. If you every now and then I'll see on the Delta Green Reddit, I'll see something about where someone will say, what's the best way to handle an agent who's been put in jail? Like, how do you deal with that? And the recommendations are great. Like, they are, things like, you bring in the new character for your player to play, and then later you might meet the other guy. Delta Green might have disavowed that agent. They might be living off the grid now, and they might come up in another mission later, which would be super cool. But it's like they're not really a part of Delta Green because they got burned, and that's an interesting way to do it if they're alive and in their right minds. If they're not, then something else might happen. Yeah. Okay, well, so go ahead, Brad. You got something? Or are you just agreeing heartily with me?
I think that's my final thought is maybe Delta Green's more structured.
Yeah.
As far as gameplay goes because of that.
Well, yeah, it's
I never played Knives in the Dark, but
Blades.
It's actually Blades.
Blades in the Dark.
Oh,
Actually,
damn it.
was that some kind of vampire game?
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. But it's something we've kind of talked about before. Is like, in Call of Cthulhu, which is a very similar game to Delta Green, a little bit different setting, but in Call of Cthulhu and in Dungeons and Dragons and in Pathfinder, you always struggle with that thing of like, why did this group of chucklefucks get together? Like, they're just like vaguely going after the same thing. But in Delta Green, you kind of have that answered for you. Yeah. But yeah, those are kind of the, I don't know, I was thinking about the old priorities, the kind of priorities of work that are in Delta Green. And speaking of priorities, you guys,
Wait,
as
before you start the segue.
No,
wait,
I've started it.
wait.
It started.
No, I'm interrupting you. Isn't it? I think it's different though. It's like we've got the
That was
D&D.
planned, John. Now he can't segue.
Great.
Damn it, it doesn't matter.
Now we can never start
I think
playing.
we've got final thoughts. We've
Okay.
got like
Hit me.
our own flavor of it. Even though, I don't know, I feel like it's difficult. Maybe it's because I'm such a noob with all the tabletop RPG stuff. But like, I feel like we've got our own play style, and we're not really fiddling with the rules so much. You're just handling the rules, and you're handling them like a pro, and we're just playing the fool. You do the rules, we play the fools, and we have a great
And that's a
time.
green box guarantee.
That's a
And-
green box guarantee. These guys are
addition
gonna
to
fuck around,
adequacy.
and I'm gonna try to herd them.
So I don't know. It feels transparent. I think that's what I'm
Okay,
saying. It
yeah.
feels very like not there. I'm just kind of having fun playing through and adopting the characters. That's what it feels
Well,
like.
there is, and I think that's a lot of there are GM, DM, handler styles out there, and I'm kind of one of those guys. If the rules completely destroy all fun, then the rule it needs to go, and we stick pretty close to it. But I play it pretty well. I play it like pretty loose in that I also like to get you guys' input to make sure that you guys don't get slammed with something that seems completely unreasonable.
That's fair.
So.
Speaking of destroying fun, do you want to take it away, Joe?
Oh yeah,
For the
speaking.
That's a segue.
You set it up. I'm gonna dunk it. All right. So, so the guys, the player, or not our players, got our characters. You guys, we left you off last time. You guys are standing in the desert. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday on September 9th. You guys have just finished kind of interrogating Ophelia Citri after having destroyed her house, the unnatural Carcosian mechanism therein, and discovered this weird tunnel that she was digging. This all comes off of the back of a long road to get here, where you guys, having been originally assigned to investigate the disappearance of these Delta Green agents from the Dorchester facility in Boston, finding out that your handler was involved, is corrupted by the unnatural in and of itself, quote unquote dealing with him, which I think Benji did a great job of, but then also discovering that there were links to something you guys had seen in the past, this Michael Whitwer, Agent Vega. You guys inadvertently stumbled upon a completely other Delta Green operation that you had first begun to detect back in 1995, Operation Mercy. After reaching back out to your handler and reestablish connection with who you are almost certain now is the real Delta Green, you have been informed that V-Cell, with Vega, Victor, and Venus, were assigned to basically deal with Agent Exeter, Elias Barbas. And you guys have been drafting them, and now that you've been reestablished back with Delta Green, you have been assigned to your new mission, Mercy 2. And which your first priority was to discover if Ophelia Citri had any involvement with this situation. You guys were already surveilling the place, and you guys were basically told, all right, you need to pick up where V-Cell left off. And you were given two primary objectives. Figure out if Ophelia Citri is involved, contain her by whatever means necessary, and discover the disposition of V-Cell. Those were your two objectives. That being said, the team still knows there's something going on back at the Dorchester. But for right now, that's not the priority. The priority right now is you guys are standing in the desert at 1 o'clock in the morning. It is chilly. And you have this, and Ophelia Citri, still like handcuffed to this fence post, is she is just mumbling and basically has kind of gone into like a bit of a fugue herself. She's like basically like mumbling and drooling. She seems to have come to the end of her rope for the time being. And you guys now have a decision to make.
Joe, could you quickly recap what the little banter was? Do you have it on hand? Some of her banter from
That's
the
what
last
I wanted.
Okay,
little
yes.
insane
Yes,
babbling?
absolutely, not a problem. You mean like what's coming out of her now, or what you talked to her during the
Yeah.
interrogation?
Well,
What
just
were
that
our
last part
questions again,
seemed
and what do we
important.
get from her?
You guys basically got from her that she told you that she had gotten this knife from her friend Marbus, who she had traveled with. That Marbus sent the cherub to protect her while she sawed out this tunnel underneath her house. That she retrieved these seeds, these strange seeds, from under
That was the Whispering Labyrinth, wasn't
the
it?
Whispering Labyrinth, where apparently she was in search of her bottle. This is not the first time you guys have heard about bottles. You heard about bottles in 1995, I believe, from Lewis Post. That people seem to want to find their bottles. You don't know what that means yet. But she seems to be under the impression that finding her bottle will fix everything. So, but as
And she threatened us. She
yes,
wanted to break our bottles.
she threatened
as
to find your bottles and to break them. So you don't really know what that means. But she is now kind of babbling about how, she's like, you hear Mike every now and then. You hear a lot of stuff about bottles and labyrinths, and then a lot of just kind of like schizophagia, like word salad kind of silliness that you really can't make any heads or tails of.
In one point, when we were trying to find this like hotel that, what's the dude's name?
Vega was in.
Hotel Broad Albin.
Broad Albin, that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, yes.
Who's the guy that supposedly made all these?
Asa Darabandi.
Darabandi, I always forget that name. We came across a map, I forgot where, on a handkerchief of this hotel or the basement of that hotel, and it had
it's got a
bottle
JL
placement.
Well.
Brad, you're sharp tonight.
Bradley, yes.
I had a cup of coffee before this session.
Yes, if you will, if you guys have Roll20 pulled up, I will ping it for you over here, and then I will also try to get it pulled up here where our Twitch folks can see it. Let me zoom in and then move over here. There we are. Yes. There we are. Yes, this was
JL. Who's JL?
Who is JL? Who is
That's
JL?
someone we met in the ninth floors, I believe.
Jimmy Lips.
Jimmy Lips. I
Old
remember him.
Jimmy Lips.
Old Jimmy Lips.
Jimmy Lips.
How could I
His
forget
lips
him?
are so glossy, old Jimmy Lips.
That's so
Always moist.
like what? How's he do it?
May have been
so-
Jay Lynn's.
And we never got
What was
to-
that?
Okay,
Jay Lynn's? We found a jacket with Jay Lynn's on the back of
That
it.
is right. When you guys were in the missing room and Benji dove in and received some of the things from the suitcase, he found the name Jay Lynn's. L-I-N-Z.
Joe, we're gonna crack the case. This is it. We're ending this.
You guys are
this
gonna do it.
saga is coming to an end tonight.
this is the last episode.
This is it?
I'm sorry to tell everybody.
It's all
this
coming
is the
together.
last episode. We're about to win. I'm
And they all
calling
look
it now.
horribly.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah.
So yeah, that's all we know.
That's what you know.
Excellent.
Pack it up, boys.
we've
We
got-
solved it.
We just leave her in the desert.
We
and
are
go
done.
home. We're done.
Yeah, you just guys just like give her a little pat on the head. Okay, you be safe now.
It'll be
Just-
fine. Here's a sandwich.
Well,
So,
so
Can we
we
grab-
got all we can. Sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna motion over to Hank and just like Hank, do you think we need to use the knife here? Do we need to understand what this knife is? Do you think she's even gonna be responsive at this point?
Well, I don't know if there's anything particularly special about the knife other than it was a vessel to carry these seeds, is what I reckon, but we definitely need to hold on to it. I guess the main concern now, the way I see it, we can turn her over to DG. We can, get rid of her, or we can try to, I don't know if we have the resources for this. We could keep her around for a little bit, I suppose, if we think there's more more information she could provide us, but I just don't know about that. Who knows how long she'll be in this state? I just don't know.
What do you think? What do you think, Benji?
I think we should probably turn her over to DG. Seems like the responsible thing to do.
Benedict is immediately suspicious of Benji speaking about responsibility.
Or we could stab her with a knife and see what happens. I mean, that's
Okay.
my.
He's fine.
Okay, there he goes.
You
What
had me
if-
worried there, Benji.
What have you done with Benji?
Sorry, I momentarily forgot how absolutely unhinged I am. It's been a couple weeks since I've been lucid.
The only other thing I'll worry about is we did destroy the house, but are we sure that got rid of the evidence of the tunnel? I mean, do we even want to see what's down there?
Hell yeah.
Well, you guys did make a call to Marcus to let him know that there was something unnatural, and I believe a portal to another dimension was mentioned underneath the house. That you guys told him, like, there is a tunnel underneath the house, it needs to be covered up. There was a dice roll made, and the results of that dice roll are unknown to you, but so that may happen. You don't know. So if you want to get there and look in that tunnel, that might be complicated if Delta Green gets there before you. Also, if you show up there, say, in the next few hours, there's probably going to be police and fire trucks all over the place. So, yeah. But it's up to you.
Okay.
Do we want to call up Marcus and see if we can hold off Delta Green for the time being if we want to see what's down in the tunnel?
I don't really care. They could go down. I don't give a shit. We've done our job at this point, and if they need our help on that, great. If not, less chance of us dying. I'm good with that.
I mean, don't
I-
the Whisper and Labyrinth, don't that sound an awful lot like the night floors we found ourselves in 20 years ago? I wonder if there's a link between them.
You know, normally I wouldn't go along with anything Benji has to say, but I kind of do want to go down in these tunnels. I mean,
Benji's
It all
licking
leads
the
back-
knife, the edge of the knife, just staring.
I
it
don't
all
know.
seems to lead back to the night floors. I mean, even if, once we're done here with everything, we're going to have to go back to the Dorchester. And if I'm a bet man, I would say that's going to lead to the night floors as well.
Yeah. All right. And maybe we'll find Ham.
Man,
Maybe
Ham.
Ham is still okay. I hope Ham's okay.
I hope
I
Ham's
think of
I
him
hope
every
Ham's
night before I
okay
go to
too.
sleep.
This is no time for Arby's talk, but let's
Got it.
carry on with the mission.
Okay, so let's call up Delta Green. Also, we're waiting on some documentation, so I need to follow up with our good friend with the Caribbean voodoo protection tattoos on her wrist.
What do
She-
we need paperwork for?
She told you she was going to give you any information they had on Operation Mercy,
On Operation Mercy, yeah.
Oh,
which was what the mission that Whitwer and them were sent on.
let's
Did I
give,
remember- Did I remember to roll an occult on that knife?
I'm going to tell you right now, if you do, you don't find anything. It's occultically uninteresting.
we basically got like a 1. Both of like 2 of us, we got like everything.
Yeah.
I
This
think
is it's a knife.
Yeah,
It is like a military issue, like combat knife from.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
I think it's just a cool
Planting
knife,
seeds.
and it had the seeds in it. Was
Mhm.
the main reason for her whoever
But-
so
Botanical
that knife. Yeah, the
Alright, so
botanical
let's-
knife.
Let's take her in. Let's call up. Let's call up Marcus. Let's take her in, and let's figure out if we can actually get back to the house. If I'm a little bit in two minds. Should we actually work with the Delta Green team? Like, do you guys think it's a problem if we get there and work with some friends, or do we need to actually sort this out ourselves?
Well, if we show up there and sell blah blahs, they're liable to send us on our way to keep it so compartmentalized. They probably don't want us interfering with that. If another team gets
We'll
there.
just pull rank. Be like, this is our fucking jurisdiction, and pull out our badges.
This is our case. All right. Let's call let's call our handler and see what he has to say.
Okay. Benji, give him a call.
Ring, 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 ring. Ring, ring. Oh, Marcus.
Okay. Marcus picks up the phone. Last time you called him, you'd kind of told him he'd asked you about what you guys are doing with Ophelia Citri, and you guys have basically said, okay, bye, and just left him. Just kind of left him hanging. This time you call, and again, it's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. You guys get a hold of him pretty quickly. He's like, hello, hey.
Hey, you're on speaker, so don't say nothing embarrassing. You'd only tell to me.
Noted.
All right. So we got a girl in the desert we might need you to take care of.
That is very, very unspecific. Is this this person Ophelia Citri, or is it just someone else?
We went to the strip club earlier tonight and things went south.
Oh, God.
No,
I can't help you with that one. That's on you.
it's Ophelia Citri.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, okay, great. You have her. All right. Were you able to figure out the disposition of Michael Whitwer, of Agent Vega?
Signs point to no.
Is that a quote from a Magic 8 Ball? Are you just shaking a Magic 8 Ball and answering my questions?
Oh shit! You got me.
He puts the Magic 8 Ball back in his pack.
Trying.
This is Hank speaking. You're on speakerphone, so don't say anything that you would only say to me.
You don't have to tell me the second time.
Oh, he already said that. Okay, my bad. Just making sure you know. No, we did not find any names. Ophelia did not. She seemed to be very concerned for Vega, but outside of that, had no idea where he went. She only had the vague recollection of her wanting to find him. Outside of that, she was definitely tied up with Barbas. Barbas is the reason for a lot of shit that is going down, especially that explosion at the house. We can debrief you when you get here. I don't want to talk too much over this
Barbas
line.
blew up the house?
Sure.
No.
My sources say no.
I put down that Magic 8 Ball.
You may rely on it.
Okay, all right. I can radio hire. I'll send you a text. They'll probably give you a location to drop the asset for them to pick it up. Has she been corrupted? Has she been touched by this unnatural whatever's going on?
Marcus?
Yeah.
Marcus, yes. Benedict here. You're on speakerphone. Don't say anything that you say to anybody else. Yes, we think that you should probably not let her speak.
Don't let her speak.
You can maybe keep her in containment, but I wouldn't. We're gonna give it to you, duct taped, and it's probably best you keep her that way.
Oh, okay. I'll let Hire know. All right, Jesus. All right, what's you guys' next move? What?
Well, about that, we were wondering if you could pull some strings or how long you could keep another cell off of the Ophelia's property and Vega's property, because
I already messaged up, and it sounds like you honestly. I mean, if you guys hadn't played your cards right with Charlotte, things might be different. But it sounds like they're gonna have their people there as part of the fires and the fire department, and they're probably gonna do an arson investigation. I mean, hell, it's a fucking explosion. She was already under investigation by the FBI. I mean, there's gonna be people over, but they've said they have their people there, who are gonna look for this tunnel and try to obfuscate it from the authorities.
That's great. Do you have a way for us to know who's part of it? Do we have any cool ass code words that we can tell to people randomly to figure out if they're part of the division?
We don't have code words just like standard, but like if you need to, are you going back there? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Okay. I can get a hold of them and I can find out for you. I can get it to you. I'll send you.
We need
a
code
message with
words.
it.
We need code words, and Charlotte promised me some documentation. Did you get it?
I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm sure it's coming. Just hold your fucking horses. Don't you talk to me like that, you son of a bitch.
Hey, you're on
Jeremy,
speakerphone.
Whoa.
Language.
All
Jeremy,
right,
this
sorry.
amateur over here.
All right. Listen. Okay. All right. I'm gonna get you your info. I'm gonna find
Are you
out.
stressed, buddy? Are you okay?
You woke
haven't
me
checked
up
in a while.
the middle of the fucking night. You blew up a house in suburbia.
No, that was probably not us.
I don't
Yeah,
believe
and, like,
you.
Aside from all that,
It's been a long few days. Okay. So, I'm gonna drink some
Well, if
coffee.
you had seen what's in that house, you would blow it up too. Let me just leave it at that.
Oh, okay. Hey, I mean, you guys did your job. Okay.
You know
So-
what, Marcus?
What?
You know what? Next time you're coming with us. All right?
No.
You
No.
didn't
No.
sleep?
No. No.
You didn't
No.
sleep? I haven't slept in weeks, man.
Yeah.
You haven't seen what I've seen.
Okay, I'm gonna put the word out. I'm gonna get you your contact. Jesus. All right. Look for my text. Okay. Stay mobile. Don't wherever you are. Pack up. Leave. Just stay on the move. God. All right. Look for my message. Bye.
All right. Marcus, thank
Love
you.
you.
Marcus,
Love
we love you.
Love you too.
Love
All
you.
of us.
Okay.
Ophelia too.
Okay. Bye. All right. Hangs up.
You know what would have been really cool if we had came up with the password. I just thought of this, and we could bring everybody Arby's, and that's the password, and we just
Oh,
have everybody eat Arby's outside the site while we go under the tunnel and look for shit.
You just like bring like a whole spread.
what? Is the Arby's spiked? Is it gonna have like sleeping pills for everybody?
Well, from my understanding, everyone there is privy to the DG mission, is what it sounded like, or most of them.
Well, some
All
of
right.
them.
I'm gonna. So after a little while, it doesn't take terribly long, about 30 minutes, and you guys load Ophelia back up, hit the road again. She's still in the back, kind of doing her thing. You got her taped up and all that. You receive a message from Marcus that says that you are expected about 8 o'clock. Around 8 o'clock at the house. That you are to look for a fire marshal, or not a fire. Are they fire marshals? Who are the people who investigate arson? Who?
Yeah, sounds right.
Sure, that's not the right word, but that's what we're using. You're looking for fire marshal Derringer. That he is either. You don't know if he's or they would tell you actually. He is a friendly, but that they have several. There also is already FBI at the location, and they have several Delta Green agents who are FBI, and they know to respond to the special passcode, which is that you're supposed to say, "Man, I sure wish I had some Arby's right now," and they would say, "Yeah, but you got to get the coffee from Duncan." So.
Oh, nice.
So you know.
That's so Delta Green. That's
So
just
Delta Green.
classic Delta Green ass shit.
So yeah. So they know to. So that's how you'll know. And from what you understand, it's the message that you receive from Marcus tells you that the place is covered up in people. That there are only probably 3 or 4 friendlies, or only 3 or 4 agents there. You don't know what cell they're a part of or anything. There is also a special warning there. you see that there's actually a name that you recognize, and they warn you that they are going to be on the location, which is, if I can find it, because I've lost all of a sudden. Basically, God, what was the name of the people who were investigating Michael Whitwer? Who was it?
Is that the DEA?
Yes. Yes, they tell you that some of the DEA folks are on the scene, and that, and you recognize one of their names at least, who I will definitely give you when I fucking get it. It is... I feel like I should be better at this than I am.
Adequacy. That's all we need.
Just
Yeah.
Reuben Hardrick.
Oh, good
Agent
old
Reuben Hardrick. You guys spoke to him on the phone.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
Right.
but he was like, okay, yeah, I remember this dude.
this is the guy who was personal friends of Michael Whitwer, but apparently he's on there, and apparently they're saying that you need to watch out for him. That he is asking a lot of questions and is trying to really, really insert himself into what's going on.
Okay.
Did we meet him or did we just have a phone call?
Just
with
had a
him?
phone call with him.
Well, we were doing.
Okay.
He doesn't know us either because I think we were just making random calls from
Right.
the cell phone that we
Right.
found,
Absolutely.
and he was like all business, but then he was like, "Listen, I just want to know where my friend is." Blah blah blah.
Right.
And then we kind of like hung up.
You guys are also given
Oh.
a drop location. It is an abandoned car wash biz, like on the edge of town. You guys are told that Ophelia Citri, that you can pick up, or that you can drop off Ophelia there.
Okay. So that's the first stop.
Okay.
Done.
No, let's take her to back to the crime scene. See what happens.
What
Okay.
day is it, by the way? Is it still Tuesday or Monday?
Thursday
It's-
now.
It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. By the
Is it
time all this
Wednesday?
is happening, you're probably dropping her off about 4:00 in the morning.
Okay. Okay, so we might be able to go and see the encounter group
In the evening.
as well on a Wednesday, on a week. Okay, in the evening.
Yeah.
And we're expected at 8 o'clock in the morning on scene.
That's the time they're expecting you. You don't have to show up then.
Okay.
But that's when they're expecting you.
I'm very punctual.
Oh, naturally.
So.
Okay, you show up to the wash rack, which is like it's like a big old washing, like car wash place that you can wash like big rigs and stuff. And you show up there. It's all fenced off. It's all dilapidated for the most part. It looks like it hasn't been kempt. You know, the desert's kind of starting to creep in because it's right on the edge of like Vegas, like on some of the suburbs. The chain link fence is open. And inside, you don't really see anyone as you drive up. And who's driving, do you think?
Hank
will
usually.
drive.
Okay. Hank, you're pulling up. I imagine maybe Benji's in the front seat, and, Benedict, you're in the back seat, kind of like keeping an eye on Ophelia. You guys are like looking around, peering out the windows. And I imagine in the scene, like you guys are looking around, and then Benji like kind of pats Hank on the arm and points, and in one of the drive-through like automatic washing things, there is a van pulled up in it. It's like a black van, no markings, and you can just barely make the silhouette of two people sitting in the front seat.
Looks like that's our guys.
Can we
Hank,
do a
I suppose. Go ahead.
quick alertness? Does it seem safe?
Yeah, give me some alertness rules. And if Benedict, if you want to poke your head up there and do it, if that's what you want to do, then by all means.
Success for once.
Anybody else?
He got a success. So.
Okay. All right. Benedict, you do notice that inside, so there's they have like the automated like drive-through things that you pull through, but they also have they have like a small like office building kind of there. You look and you see just the tiniest little sliver of movement inside the office as well. It's all dark. and you just see someone kind of move up to the big plate glass window and just kind of stand there. You can just barely make somebody out inside.
Okay.
Hank, I guess, pulls up behind the van and does like one flash of the lights.
Yeah.
And then sits there.
You do that. You give like one flash. Like, do you pull like up in behind inside the washing thing?
Yeah.
You guys pull up. You flash, and as soon as you flash, both doors open. Both doors open, and these two guys get out. They're both wearing like coveralls, and one of them's wearing a ball cap. And they walk up and they just open the back door, and the one with the ball cap.
It's me. Is that where we're going with this?
Is that where we're going?
Well, I was thinking a little bit darker. It's like easy to just like take that off when you get blood and
There's
nonsense
blood
on you.
Right. Yeah.
Is one a little bit shorter, fatter?
No.
Got a red shirt on.
No.
One's taller.
Green mushroom hat.
One of them opens the back doors of the van to kind of face yours, and the other one walks up. He's like, "Okay, so what do we got?" He like cracks his knuckles.
We got the meat. No.
He's
we
like,
got one
God,
package in the back.
one. All right. He's like, all right, let's see what you got.
Not me, you idiot.
they grab Benedict and chloroform him. Just okay. You open the back. They see. They kind of look. And the thing is, these guys are not shaken whatsoever. They seem like this is all like they. You would imagine that if you were offloading, like boxes of like whatever, that you would do it with the same amount of care. They kind of just like one of them kind of gets up there and looks, and again she's just kind of like she's kind of out of it, and the one with the ball cap says, "You drug her?"
No.
Nope.
Honestly,
no
couldn't
drugs.
remember.
This is essentially how we found her.
And just the tape as well. We found it with the tape. Don't take that tape.
She was already hogtied.
Yeah.
Hogtied herself.
Listen, guy, we're just delivering the package, all right? We don't know what's up.
He's like fine. He's like, hey, I got it. And he says, I just didn't want her to OD. And he reaches in, he unzips his breast pocket on his coveralls and pulls out a syringe and like gives it a quick flick. And he just kind of puts his hand on her head and just gives her a quick injection into the neck, and she calms right on down.
Okay.
And they pick her up. They pick her up and they load her. They basically transfer her in the back of one van to the other. He says, anything we need to know?
You're going to want to leave that tape on just in case.
Not a problem.
The mouth tape. She starts babbling. Just slap that sucker back on. You don't want to hear none of that.
Is it dangerous?
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yep.
You got it. And they just, again, they're ready. They're like, cool. All right,
Buddy.
What's up?
You seem like a solid dude. What's your name, man? I like your style. I like the cut of your jib.
No. We're not doing this. No.
We're actually we're looking for a fourth on the team.
He says in the voice of Joe, no. We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
I have a question for the NPC.
Okay.
Not known as Joe.
They close the back doors and they're about to leave.
So, quick question before you head off. Do you have a spare one of those needles, in case we need it?
Made me persuade.
Nice.
I was gonna kind of go for that too.
How many of those do you have?
Hey,
failure
it could be
on my
very
side.
beneficial. Fuck.
He's like, hey, sorry, man. He's like,
All right, no problem. I get it. You're professional.
We do appreciate you coming and picking up the package, but
He's like,
again,
and one of the guy without the ball cap, he's like, hey, he's like, hey, do we need to? He's like, oh, is this stuff for them? And he's like, oh yeah. And the other guy reaches in the back seat and pulls out a cardboard box. He's like, we were told to drop this off to you.
Oh, thank you.
And they load up.
Who's inside? Who's inside?
Oh, that's our guy. Overwatch, security.
Gotcha.
So
Must be nice.
So they load up.
Must be fucking nice.
They shut up. They shut the van up and they pull up and they actually pull up to the little office building there, and you see a guy get out, and he has an AK, he's like holding an AK as he comes in, and he sees you guys looking at him, and he just kind of gives you a nod. He opens the back doors and jumps in, and they don't speed off, but, they leave off into the darkness, off into the evening.
Okay.
That went well.
Yep.
What's in the
Let's go.
box?
What's in the box?
In the box.
Yeah,
All
let's take a look.
Yeah, you guys.
Let's open our present.
You open it up and you see 3 brand new sets of FBI jackets, like windbreakers, bulletproof vests that are stamped with FBI, and 3 sets of brand new IDs and badges. You previously
Nice.
had been relying on the ones you had before. These all have recent pictures of you, either your driver's license or your passport photos. These are real
What are the
pictures
names?
of you. No. You gotta hold boundaries, man. You gotta have good, healthy boundaries.
But go ahead. Sorry.
Well, and so that's what you see. So this, and there's a note there that says, "See you at 8." Underneath all of it is an unmarked manila folder. And you see, I say unmarked, just written in small letters on the tab is Mercy.
Let's open it up.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume you guys load up out and get out of this creepy abandoned car wash.
I was just gonna say before we get into the Mercy folder, that could have been a good workaround for you, Benji. If you couldn't sleep, you just drug yourself up.
You just
Trust
That
you
wasn't
just give
smart.
yourself like a full blown tranquilizer.
Yeah. Then he could sleep.
My audio stopped again. Same problem. Disk too slow. I've got it started up.
Okay.
But we'll address that later.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. So you guys get on the road. Whoever's in the back begins looking through the folder. Who wants to do that?
Oh well.
Okay. Benji, you start looking. You're sitting there in the passenger seat, and you're looking through. What you see is that basically Dr. Elias Barbas was working for the Massachusetts State Police. You see that, and this is some stuff you already knew, that he began to get erratic enough for some official harassment type complaints to be levied against him by some of his coworkers. And there was concern, basically it was bad enough to get to DG because the concern is, well, if this guy is coming unraveled, he's seen and done a lot of stuff. He's been an agent for a long time. You see that all that mentions is that he's been on many operations. And there was basically concern that if his mental status was deteriorating, that he might be a security risk. So Operation Mercy with V-Cell was assigned to basically not do like a health and welfare check necessarily, but to follow him, determine what his kind of trajectory is, and to manage it. As you look into it, it looks like they were kind of established to maybe kind of like discredit him or like create the situation where if he did kind of begin to degrade, that anything he said would be dismissed. Like, oh, well, he's mentally unwell. That they were basically kind of going in and equipped to do that, to like discredit him and to contain or minimize any damage he might cause. It becomes very clear that soon after Operation Mercy, that the members of V-Cell stopped responding. Particularly, I can actually give this to you. Let me see. That the last contact that they had with V-Cell was on the 8th of July. That is the last known contact to have happened with V-Cell, and it was something that you guys have already actually seen, which is that he contacted Agent Vega contacted his girlfriend, Ophelia Citri. And then after that, they vanished. And that is when things got... And then obviously the DEA got involved because Michael Whitwer wasn't responding. And then that was more people looking into the situation, which basically this thing became a huge thorn in the side of Delta Green because they're just like, they've got leaks on leaks kind of happening all at once.
Does it have their last known location?
It says that as far as they know, they set up their base of operations in the Boxer Hotel. Okay. That is all it states. Okay. You all know, and I mean, this is still pretty unclear. You know that they set up in room 616, a room that, as far as you know, is not typically accessible, or at least seems to have its access a little bit complicated.
I'm just curious about the timeline. Well, we have the timeline that Delta Green knows of, but I'm not... what I'm saying is, like, so, okay, right now we know Ophelia got really involved. Barbas is obviously really involved. Our only contact with Vega, we don't know when we contact him, first came in contact with him in the night floors along this line, but he seemed to be stuck in the night floors, but still somewhat sane. He was concerned.
Correct.
So I guess my only question is, I'm wondering, was Vega's girlfriend involved with Barbas before they got assigned to this mission? Or was it something like, Vega and his team started following Barbas, they got involved, Vega called Ophelia, and that's when Ophelia got involved? Or if it was like just like this... when did Ophelia get involved was like the big question for me.
What you can see from the timeline is that that agent or V-Cell was assigned on the 24th of June. Okay. And that as far as you can tell, that on 8 June was when Dr. Barbas first kind of snapped, and that's when he apparently, as far as you can tell, assaulted another state police officer who he worked with. You do see some records of some check-ins that V-Cell had done where they talk about that they actually broke in to Dr. Barbas's car and stole a file that they describe as a file of unknown and possibly of unknown... What do you call that? Of unknown origins. Yeah, of unknown origins that possibly might contain information which is sensitive to the program. You guys found a file, quite a thick file, in the Boxer Hotel while you were there.
Yep. And he was also carrying our shit from the previous mission in the 90s.
Well, that file, didn't that contain details about us? The file that we looked at.
Could have. We know he had our shit, but it could have been something else too.
Maybe something else. Okay.
Whatever it was, we presumably have the files of whatever the Vega had.
Okay.
But then why would Barbas fucking contact us out of the blue and have us do this goose chase with, the mental health facility?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's the puppet master.
Well, he's definitely not, but why get us involved to look into the facility? Which obviously has something going on, but... Okay.
Okay.
To the... Ophelia's what remains of her house.
Yeah, before we go there, I want to check that box thoroughly. I've learned that some DMs, they leave things in boxes, and I want to turn that box upside down for any other notes. Bad DMs do this, but, Any other notes in that box?
You
This was me, Brad.
you find nothing interesting
Okay.
in the box.
All right.
The one
Are you
trick
sure? It went to
GMs hate.
forgotten
DMs
notes?
The one trick GMs hate. Clickbait.
Cool. Onwards.
Okay. When you guys arrive to the neighborhood where you had previously been, not several hours later, and it's like, and if you guys are you in the meantime, 'cause that's at 8 o'clock, like you guys can take some time, go get a shower, freshen up, chug some coffee. You guys will need to get some sleep at some juncture. You're still good
That's
for
what
now.
I was wanting. Can we take a nap? that meantime?
Cat nap ain't really gonna do any good mechanically. So you're fine for now. You're fine for now, but you got to get some sleep sometime today. And the time it's going to take you to get back to your hotel and get showered and everything, it's going to burn a lot of time. Basically, you guys show up around the neighborhood. You get to the neighborhood. There are 2 entrances off of the highway into this suburb. Both of them one is completely closed off, and the second has a county sheriff standing at it. He's checking IDs as you guys go in. It would appear that they are still, and it would appear that they are kind of like, not evacuating, but like you see a lot of people, like civilian vehicles, leaving the area, like leaving the suburb. People who look disheveled and whatnot, and you get the sense they might be kind of trying to get everyone to leave many as they can. You guys,
Wait, did we go back in the jambulance?
Are you? Yeah, you're still in the jambulance, I assume. Do you guys?
God. Okay.
Well, you guys
That
had
seems
another car.
problematic, but let's fucking do it.
You guys had another car, so you probably would have.
Nobody saw anything.
Nobody saw anything in this innocuous jambulance.
There are no street cameras in 2015.
All right, you guys make it back and you pull up, and as you do, you are you pull up in the area and you can see that the entire street has been cordoned off, and you see now the remains of the house. There is still a vague front facade of the front wall of the house standing, but it is abundantly clear that most of the rest of the house is collapsed or gone. But there's like that first, like the garage is still mostly intact, but you can tell like the front porch has like the little roof over it. It's all sagging on one side. It looks like there was a pretty extreme fire and that most of it was put out. There's still smoke. There's still a few fire trucks. Lots of people milling about. You see over to the side, there's an area that looks like where you see a lot of FBI windbreakers, kind of hanging around, moving equipment. They have a bunch of big long tables where they're putting little pieces of burnt debris and all stacking them up and lining them up and documenting them and photographing them and all that.
Y'all want to mosey on over to the FBI?
Yeah.
Oh, also, that's an important question. Stay away from the DEA, folks.
Yeah. Can we see any DEA folks?
Yeah, you definitely can. You can see over to the side, because that the DEA was investigating Michael Whitwer, but also the FBI was. You can
go hang out with our crew.
Yeah, so you see some DEA agents, and it's, and there seems to be an argument. There seems to be literally and as you're passing by, you see there's 3 or 4 DEA agents. There's way more FBI than there is DEA. And the DEA guys are arguing with the FBI guys, and it doesn't take much for you to pick up that they're arguing over who has access to the crime scene. It's like your typical jurisdiction bullshit. That they're trying to figure out, that they're arguing who does what. And you see the DEA guys are setting up a tent as well, and it looks like they want to do their own processing, but the FBI's like, no, we got this. The FBI and DA's like, no, this is our investigation originally. This is obviously drug cartel related. Who else would do this? Blah, blah, and the FBI's like, yeah, but we were surveilling. And then the DA guys are like, well, yeah, where's that surveillance van? What the fuck happened to it? That kind of thing. Like, you guys really dropped the ball on this. This wouldn't have happened if, that's the stuff you hear. But you guys make it over.
Well,
go ahead.
I say we just kind of ignore that and try to head towards this.
Yeah.
If it escalates, we'll keep an eye on it. I guess we go over to the table, if everyone's cool with that.
I guess we go over to the table. If everyone's cool with that.
Yeah.
If everyone's cool with that. 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 If everyone
Well, if you
and
ask
ask
around,
for-
yeah, you can find your contact, who you're told is an arson fire marshal investigator called with
Derringer.
his last name is Derringer. Yeah, you meet Tim Derringer. It doesn't take long for you to ask around, and he tells you, he's like, you give him, what do you say to him?
Derringer, Agent Derringer, is that your name?
Yeah, welcome.
Like the pistol?
Yeah, just
I'm
like the
gonna
pistol.
I'm gonna call you Pistol Pete.
Don't
Gives
call
him
me
finger
that.
guns.
don't
Alright.
do that.
Oh, good.
Our name's Pemberton, Drake Pemberton.
Pemberton. Okay, fantastic.
That's right.
Agent Pemberton.
Yep, you can call me Drake though. I feel
Alright.
like you
Okay,
gonna be
Drake.
friends.
All right, yeah.
All right,
I think what our friend.
we got the Arby's.
That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, but you got to get the coffee from Duncan. Okay.
Damn straight.
All right. So, and he kind of leans in a little closer, like, so I'm gonna understand. You guys need to look at this. We've been taking. We've collected some, and he's like kind of talking about it, like he's kind of like orienting you, but you really, you can kind of feel that like underline of what he's saying. He says, yeah, so we've taken a lot of debris from the exterior of the house, from the periphery. There appears to have been some assailants access the house through the back. It's hard to say.
Bastards.
The fence is gone now. But there seems to have been the primary explosion looks to have been some type of bomb. The secondary explosion was a gas leak, was a gas fire, probably caused by the first one. We're still unsure, but I haven't deemed the house itself safe yet, so we haven't collected any evidence from there. But because I know you gentlemen have such expertise, I could allow you in to set the tone, right?
Right
That
on,
makes
brother.
sense.
We do thank you for your service. If it's not too much to ask, we would like to head to the, I believe, is the northeast section of the house near the bedroom, and take a look. I don't know if you have some fellas that could stand around the area while we investigate.
Yeah, I've got actually. He brings over. He's got 4 agents, and they're all FBI folks of different, and he says these are the guys
Well,
who have.
we just need them to keep other people away.
He says,
Please.
"This is not a problem." Hey, can we get those photographers to wrap things up in the back? He's like, he says, the back of the house is gone. He's like, can we get those guys back? Get them start working on the front, and they basically
And
you're able to create a situation where you think that you could pretty reliably access the bedroom and, most importantly, the bathroom fairly well.
and then Phil, I got a question for you. So you mentioned evidence of bombs, right? Now, I don't know where the DA's jurisdiction sits on bombs, but I thought that's our domain. Can you get those fucks out of here?
Hey, we are fucking trying. It's like if you've got any ideas, he's like
Well, I got 40% law that I could roll.
No, actually, you know what? Go ahead, roll me a law check or
Alright.
bureaucracy for that matter.
With some, do I have any juice, or is Brad the only one with juice? This
do
feels
you,
like
do
the
you
right
have
time
juice
for
on your sheet?
No.
Okay, that sounds like you don't have any juice, unless somebody wants to give you juice.
I could try to. What do we need?
Successful.
Okay.
Success
Hold on.
anyway.
Nice.
All right, he gets talking. He looks over. He's like, "Hey, Mike, don't we have isn't the ATF coming anyway?" He's like, "Yeah, they're gonna be here in like an hour." He's like, they don't get up, they don't get to work until 9. They're ha ha ha, federal law enforcement joke, ha ha ha. He's like, all right.
One.
He's like, you know what? You're right. Listen, let me go talk to him. I'm gonna get him out of here. He's like, this is ludicrous. It's just
Right?
So he goes over, and you guys can, kind of observe over the next 5 minutes that they kind of ease the DEA agents away toward the edge of the line of like the police tape line.
Nice.
And you can
That's the first law roll I think we've done.
Man.
I didn't think it'd be useful.
And you can see that there is a guy who looks to be in charge. And if you hear him shouting, like the shouting matches are just like breaking out, sounds a lot like Ruben Hardrick, the agent that you've encountered, or the DEA agent you were told about. And you know that he has a vested personal interest in this case.
All right.
It follows. You guys pretty much have
Seems
the
like
opportunity to enter the home.
Let's go
Let's
down.
do it.
I'll just say we got them off our backs, but let's try to be quick because we don't know how long we can keep this guy at bay.
So I do need to know, what equipment are you taking with you? Sidearms are 100% normal in this situation. You guys are law enforcement.
Yeah, definitely have flashlights.
Mm-hmm.
Flashlights, sidearms. We got our body armor on already. What else does a boy need?
What else does he need? All right, cool.
I'm gonna take a flashbang.
I guess
Can I smuggle a
I'm gonna have.
You can.
I have some.
I'm serious.
Yeah, 100%. Well, technically, and this is one of those things that it came up later when I looked at it. Technically, you need special training to use a flashbang. I kind of think that's one of those rules limitations that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So, if I'm going to say you can bring it with you.
I think I have some padded gloves. I'm gonna take those as well. I don't know how actually useful those will be in a rolling situation, but debris and whatnot. I'm gonna take my pepper spray.
Some rope. Can we take some rope in case we get into some spelunking situation?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, Tim Derringer, he kind of makes a big show of, all right, okay, you guys know the drill. You know what to touch, what not to touch. I know you guys are the experts from the arson investigation unit. You know, he's like saying it very loud so everyone around kind of hears. He says, and he kind of gives you these other 4 units. Like, these are some of the local guys. They're gonna help you. And there's like an agent in charge. One of the guys is like the agent in charge. He's like, yeah, we'll be in there with you. But they know to kind of, and this is the opportunity where you guys are all there, like right in front of the house, and they're like, okay, so what do you need from us? They're like, you want us to go in there with you? And they don't even know what's up. They're like, so is something in the bathroom? Like, what do we need to do here?
I think it would be best if you just take watch. Just keep people away from this area. I will tell you, you'll obviously see there's a tunnel of sorts that will be going down. You don't have to go down it. Just keep people away from it.
Okay, you got it.
If you have a phone, let's keep in touch. Do you have a radio? Different
You guys have
frequency,
radios.
preferably?
You guys have radios. You can switch the same frequency. Not a problem.
Cool. We'll keep you posted if we need your help.
If you hear a scream, don't bother. We're already dead.
2 of them kind of side-eye each other and give each other a bit of a worried glance. And they're like, okay.
He likes to joke. He likes to joke.
You know, like, yeah, well, they're like, all right. And they look up in the sky and you hear the sound of a helicopter going over and you see a news chopper, like, circling the area. He's like, all right, well, let's get this done.
Quick huddle with the guys.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, what are we doing?
I don't know. It's
Not you.
Joe,
Oh,
go
sorry.
away.
Get out of here.
Kicks him in the ass.
Do we need to contain this place? So maybe we tell them if they hear a loud bang that they need to clear this place out or something. Or is there nothing? Is there anything we should consider there?
The way I'm looking at this, I just kind of want to see what's down there.
Okay.
And that's the main reason I'm doing this.
Screw containment. Let's find the truth.
But second, like, if there's something big, I say we try to save ourselves, and like I say, worst case scenario, if there's like a clockwork thing down there, run, and it's just gonna have to kill some people, and we're gonna have to deal with that later.
Okay.
But we might find some cool stuff that we can take with us,
Honestly, Benedict, I don't see us coming out the same way we're going in, one way or another.
Right. Well, I don't want anybody
You
else coming
always
in
say
the way
that.
we went.
You always say we're gonna come out different than what we went in. Come on, man.
Changed one way or another.
No, I'm actually with you on that one. So maybe I don't know. Can we check if these guys have some demolitions that we can take in and maybe set up at the entrance to just get rid of this tunnel? Or maybe let's just keep an eye
they're
out.
not
If that's
gonna
not an option,
they're
let's
not
keep an
gonna
eye
have
out.
that. That being
Yeah.
said,
Useless.
that being said, you guys do have a second ID.
Did we not use them all?
No, use the one. That's how I ruled it.
So we're
It's
running
like
the risk.
Christmas.
Are you talking about asking them to detonate it after we're already in there, like in a certain amount
Yeah.
of past a certain amount of time?
Yeah, get rid of
Hell
this tunnel.
no. While
Maybe
we're in
not
there,
after. Only if we radio them. That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
No. I know
That's-
the IED worked last time, but I really don't think that's a good idea.
That's
Just
what
blow
you
it up while we're in
always say, Brad. And then you're the guy that locks himself in a room to get away from the creepy lady, creepy fucking creature, and then we have to blow it up. All right? Just let us blow things up.
The friendlies know that they need to contain that tunnel. I say we just take the IED with us, and if there's an obvious exit point, then we can detonate the tunnel behind us.
Right.
And also, I would just rather have an IED with us.
Yeah.
For safety.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I'm totally with you on that. And
To
we'll just tell
the
them.
Whispering Labyrinth.
Okay.
We'll just
So-
tell them. Listen, we don't want anybody coming in afterwards. So, if you hear another gas explosion, make something up.
We're
So
already
you're
dead.
gonna take it in and set it up so that you can blow it up yourselves,
Yeah.
or you're gonna give the
No.
trigger to the guys outside. You tell me.
I don't trust them that much. I trust Benji in his crazed state more than I
Okay.
trust those guys.
I don't even want to set it up at the top of the tunnel. I just want to take it with us.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can get a duffel bag, kind of sneak it out of your fucking van and get there. So you guys are standing up on top now. You're looking down into this tunnel. Before it had the Edison lights like we were talking about. It's a really kind of hipster vibe, but it's a lot less now that things have been blown up. So
Beer garden.
yeah, running down into the
2.0.
tunnel. And you guys are standing here in the bathroom. And again, it's been dug out where the bathtub was. You see the bathtub has been broken to pieces and stacked on the toilet and the vanity and stuff, and all pushed to the side. This hole is relatively narrow, and it goes down at about a 45-degree angle. And running down into the tunnel is the lights that are kind of wired along the top. But then also you see some air hoses and some extension cords running down. It's completely, totally dark now. But you have your flashlights. You can shine down in there. You see that it gets down to about, it probably goes down about 10 feet. And then it looks to level off, and you can't really see what's beyond there or where it goes from there.
Benji dives in head first.
Okay. Quick question for all you guys. What's your strength scores?
Decent. 14.
Pretty good.
14,
15.
15.
10 for Benji. That scholarly muscle.
Right.
And noodle arms.
Okay. You guys get down. You have to go one by one. Who's going in front?
I can take lead.
Benji was.
Yeah, Benji will go in front.
Okay.
Pistol drawn.
Okay. You get down in there, and you see that this has all been kind of hobbled together. There's a bunch of 2x4s and stuff that are like kind of vaguely holding the tunnel up. But once you get down past the first part where it like levels out, you have to crouch. At first you could kind of semi-walk. It gets to the point where you're like walking kind of crouched down. And Citri's a smaller person. She's like a pretty petite, like pretty short woman. So you think that maybe it's a little more comfortable for her. But this is this is rickety, and like you could swear that you can like every now and then, like a little bit of dust falls from the ceiling, and it just gives you, you just kind of pucker up there for a second every time like a little bit of dust falls off. And you guys see as you get down, it levels off, and Benji, you shine your light forward, and the other two of you can see This tunnel goes forward another, like, probably just 5 feet, and then tilts off into the right at a 30-degree incline down. Like, it's very steep down. This thing goes deep. But the problem is as you go, it becomes very obvious very quick that the further you get down, that the tunnel is less well engineered. The other two of you are really struggling to squeeze yourself through a bunch of the narrower parts. Benji, on the other hand, is having a little bit better return. He's having a little bit better way to go in there. It becomes very obvious very quick that this tunnel, that you're beginning to question where this tunnel is going. It doesn't seem to make much sense. So what do you do?
I was hoping to find some like mine carts, Donkey Kong style.
Yeah.
It'll be convenient.
Okay.
So do we keep going?
I say we go as far as we can.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just like the good old days, boys.
Does anyone have... Benji, roll me an intelligence roll at a negative... I'm going to say Benji specifically. Roll me an intelligence roll at a negative 20?
Okay.
Because
Failure.
Damn.
62 under whatever.
Okay.
Over.
I'm going to say that, like, Benji, like, even with the failure of the other two of you, it doesn't take a genius to realize that, you know, this is Las Vegas. Underneath the sand is typically rock. And it doesn't seem like you're going through rock. So, yeah. You begin to get a little further down, and I will need two of you to roll me luck rolls.
I can do it.
To see how well you can kind of squeeze your way through.
You gonna roll one, bro?
99.
That's a good old-fashioned critical failure.
All right, are you gonna roll or me, bro?
No, Benji doesn't have to.
I think it's for some reason. I thought Benji was a big man.
Benji's squirrely.
He's a little
Benedict
skinny intellectual. What was
Double
that?
fumble.
Oh my god.
It's a 88.
Okay. You
TPK.
you guys both get basically stuck, and you literally do not think you can
God.
go further. Like maybe Benedict got stuck first, and Hank, you were kind of scrambling along, but it's to the point where you do not think you can go any further. Like it's not gonna happen. Benji is the only one small enough.
All right.
Well,
Benji, we're not
All right,
just go on
Benji.
without us. Let us know what's
I
up
don't
there.
think we can make it any further. I'm gonna head back to the entrance and kind of wait there for you.
My hole. It's my hole. It's calling my name.
have you guys seen that Junji Ito comic?
No,
Okay, we'll talk about that
Alright,
later.
never mind. All right.
it sounds like
I'll-
he's
I'll
doing
be right
fine.
here. I'll be right here. You go back, Hank. I'll be right here to make sure Benji has some kind of a lifeline. Benji, do you want me to set up the rope for you in case you can't find your way back?
Yeah, sure. That'd be great.
All right.
Okay. Benji, you continue along. It doesn't take you long to hit the end of that rope. Because this tunnel is just, it's snaking hither and yon. One of the things that you realize very quickly is that you are now surrounded not by typical rock. It's like a black, glassy rock.
Obsidian.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that reminds you of something like that you would see around a volcano or something. Like it doesn't seem natural. You're winding and you get to a point where you see it, you find a jackhammer. This hose runs all the way down here, and you finally find a jackhammer that's been kind of discarded to the side. And you see that the tunnel basically ends. And there's a large crack in the end of the tunnel.
Okay. Is there anything noticeable about the crack? Does it look... Describe this crack for me.
The tunnel basically comes in. At this point in time, you're basically like on your knees, like on your like kind of hands and knees crawling. And yeah, you're like, God, if Hank or Benedict was in here, there's no way.
On my hands and knees crawling towards the crack.
You see, you shine your light through the crack, and one of the things you immediately see is you see there is a small leaf. There's like a small little plant that seems to be growing, and you see that it bears these little seeds that you found in the knife that Ophelia had shown you, or that you found with Ophelia. You shine your light through the crack, and you see what looks like kind of like a basement or something. Like it's all like kind of concrete or like stone blocks kind of stuff. And you're kind of looking like through kind of like a little corridor. And right as you shine your light out, you hear voices further away. What do you do in that moment?
Benji's gonna pick up the jackhammer and see if it's functional.
You try to kind of fish it up. It looks like that the tank upstairs that was supplying the pressure is now destroyed. So
it's pneumatic. Okay.
Yeah.
Can Benji fit through the crack?
You don't think so? Like not without widening it. My big question is, do you turn off your flashlight or attempt to hide as these voices start to get closer?
Yeah, Benji will turn off his flashlight and try to eavesdrop.
Okay. You see you see two figures eventually walk down. It's two or actually, let me roll a dice. Let me roll a dice real quick. Let me see what we got here. What'd I get? Got 12. Okay. All right, that's what I'm gonna go with. Okay. You see two people, a man and a woman. The woman is looks to be fairly young. She looks like she might be like kind of like in her teens, and she's wearing she has a haircut that's it's like one of those like old school bobs, like a roaring 20s kind of popular haircut. She's pale, and she seems to be wearing like a kind of like a weird kind of like a nightgown, and she is holding one of those old school army flashlights that has the 90-degree crook in it. She's like shining it around, and she's like, where is it? I don't see it. She's like, I don't know if we're gonna. It just goes on, and then you see her shine the light toward her partner, and you hear a voice that you haven't heard for 20 years. Well, I don't know about this one. And you see her briefly shine the light across the face of Mark Rourke. He is wearing his bowler hat, and he takes it off and kind of straightens his toupee and kind of sticks it back on top. He's like, well, it's gotta be around here somewhere. Come on, let's I think I see something down the way there. Well, don't worry, little lady. We'll find yours too. And they begin to walk off.
God, should I say something?
What would Benji do?
What would Benji do? What a fantastic question.
Mark, hey Mark, is that you, Mark?
They freeze, and the light shines over. What was that? Who the? And you hear Mark. You hear, who the hell? Hey,
Hey, long time no see, Mark. How's it been hanging?
Oh, no, no, no. I don't think so. You ain't gonna pull this trick on Mark again. And you see him rush towards the crack, and you see now that he has some type of like pickaxe in his hand.
Oh.
And he strikes at the crack. And like as he seems to be like trying to attack you. Benji manages to scurry back as the debris begins to like, as the rocks kind of collapse and like, scatter out in front of him. And you hear a rumbling sound all around you.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, thanks, Mark. I was trying to jackhammer my way through, but the jackhammer broke. I appreciate you picking at them rocks.
Benji, shut up and get back.
So as Benji is giving this little monologue, he is crushed totally. So Benji, you need to. Things are beginning to shift around you. The crack, there are a bunch of like a big boulder just right down in front of you. You can still hear Mark hitting it from the other side, but it closes up in front of you as the rocks begin to give way.
Oh shit. Okay. Benji's gonna start scrambling back.
Yeah. Here's what I need from you. I need you.
No, not like this, Joe. Not like this.
Hold on. Okay. Let's see. Let me see here. So, Benji, why don't you go ahead and make me a luck roll and see what happens?
Okay. 17.
All right, Benji, you begin to scramble out. I will say that you do. Well, no, we'll say that here in a sec. You begin to scramble out, and Benji, as things are falling around, you hear the voice you hear Benedict calling for you, who I imagine is still holding on to the rope. Benedict and Hank, the rocks are shifting around where you are too. What are you gonna do?
I gotta wait.
Well, I'm towards the entrance, is what I said, like by the ladder or whatever.
You're all the way at the back? Okay. Yeah, then you hear this,
Yeah,
and you can maybe see, like, Benedict's back from where you are, as you're, like, almost at the mouth of the tunnel. So are you just going to stand there and wait for them to come out?
Well, I kind of holler at them to see if they're okay. Tell them they might
No,
want to
we're
make their
not
way back.
okay.
Okay. Benji, give me that dexterity roll.
Okay.
And if you have juice, or if your friends have juice.
I don't think I have any.
I think he's got it.
All right. It's dex roll. Here we go. Failure.
Failure by 1.
1 over 70.
All right. I really don't want to do this, but I simply don't have a choice. I'm gonna roll some damage.
Oof.
How much HP does Benji have?
Got should be full. It's 11.
Okay. Let's roll a d8 of damage.
Ouch. It's a big rock.
Benji takes 3 damage as he very briefly is squeezed before being able to, but it takes all your breath out of you. I will say at this point, you are now at a point where you have the rope. Where you are at the rope, and you think that Benedict might be able to help pull you. Benedict.
Do it.
Go ahead and make me a luck roll for Benedict.
Oh, don't mind if I do.
Let's see what we got for Benedict. All right.
97.
97.
Oh,
That's a
man.
failure. All right, let's see. Ooh, 4 damage for Benedict.
Oh, jeez.
Benedict, one of the 2x4s holding up the ceiling above you, collapses, and you fall down just before being able to kind of make and like grab for the rope. All right. here's
Hurry up, Benji.
so Benji, you can make a roll here. Actually, Benedict, tell me for Benedict. Does Benedict take the time to help pull Benji? You think
Yes.
that if you take the time, that you are almost certainly going to take damage.
He has to. He has to. He's one of his bonds.
Okay, fair. All right,
He's got
Benji,
no
go ahead and
choice.
make a dexterity roll. Give yourself a plus 20.
Plus
Feel like-
20.
Right.
We're gonna leave Hank. We're gonna leave Hank orphaned.
Success.
All right.
Benedict, pull me up.
All right, Benedict, go ahead and make your dexterity roll at a negative 20.
Oh shit.
But for pulling, I would argue strength, my good sir.
No. You're trying to stay alive yourself.
Oh,
But
staying alive.
because you are pulling him. Is that
Dexterity success.
Is that a negative 20?
Oh shit! No,
That's a
a
failure.
fail then.
Oh.
Damn.
right. I'm gonna roll another D8. Let's see how much HP
Oh,
does
God.
Benedict have?
I got 6. This is not looking good.
You
What
have
can Hank
6?
do? We kind of
6.
If Hank wants to if he wants to get back in there and wants to, I will say right now, if Hank wants to get on there and try to help Benedict, he's going to have to take this roll at a negative 20 as well. But that will make Benedict's last roll a success.
dexterity.
Yeah.
Hank, I'm in trouble.
Okay, he's gonna attempt it.
Okay.
A negative 20 dex.
Yep.
Is that what you said?
Correct.
Success.
Success. All right.
Nice.
Hank, you managed to get down there and keep Benedict. You managed to push Benedict out of the way just in time as half the tunnel just falls down. You think it would have buried him probably in totality. Benji.
Get y'all's asses up here now.
Benji, give me another luck roll. Benedict, are you still pulling?
Yes.
Plus 20 on your luck roll, Benji.
Got a 34. So
You're
that's
good.
a success.
Yep, you're good. Benji, you make it up to where Benedict and Hank are.
Let's go.
Whole
ne-
damn thing's coming down. Let's get out of here.
All right. I want everyone to make me one more luck roll to get out. No bonuses.
Failure.
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 Failure. God damn it.
Failures across
my
the
God.
board. All right, I'm gonna roll a d4 for all of you. Each of you takes 2 more damage. You guys, like shit's falling on you. The 2x4s are like smacking you in the side of the face as the tunnel buckles in from the sides. And the FBI guys, your Delta Green friendlies, are all standing now at the mouth of the tunnel, like, no, you fucking go in. Like, they're yelling at each other, like, right as you guys kind of scramble out, they reach in, they, like, pull you guys out in the last few feet as the tunnel beneath you just, and this big dust cloud just blast out behind you as the entirety of the house, like you feel the house kind of shift just a few inches, like that into the house. Tim Derringer like comes in the door, what's left of the doorway of the bathroom. He's like, what the fuck are you doing down there?
Benji's like panting, like out of breath, and he shoots him the finger gun.
All right, that's probably a good place to
So good.
stop for this episode. Yeah, that was a close one. You guys,
That was that might be the closest we've ever come to, well, just straight up dying.
have I ever
Yeah,
told
like-
you guys? I think I've talked about it offline for sure. I don't know if I've talked about it on the recordings on the podcast. Have I told you guys that there are places in this book that are basically just designed to kill people?
Cool.
That's
Good
one
to
of them.
Little tunnel of death.
But yeah,
And
all
what is even like we got nothing from that. We got nothing. It was just straight up death trap.
okay.
Fuck.
I don't think
And
you
he
got
didn't
nothing.
recognize the girl's. He didn't recognize the girl's voice.
No.
It's not Abigail, is it?
Hold on real quick. Let me look at something real quick.
Pancake says, excellent episode, folks. Can't wait for the next. Well, it's coming up right after this.
Thank you, Pancake.
No, thank you very much. Yes. As you guys
Pumpkin
are
cake,
all
sorry.
standing here,
Pumpkin cake.
like in the dust, Benji, you have a realization.
Ooh.
You know who the girl was. You've seen someone who looks remarkably like her one other time. On the back flap of a book that you once found. A book called A World Without Doors by Emmeline Fitzroy.
Oh.
Yeah. But,
Okay.
guys, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I thought you were
Nice.
talking to the viewing audience.
No, I was talking to you guys.
Awkward pause.
Wow.
Oh, back
Yeah.
at you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone watching, everyone listening, now thank you for joining us. If you're really enjoying what you're watching, our community is primarily over at Reddit on r/Greenbox Gaming. Our links to everything, our Patreon, our Twitter, and our Instagram, all that's on there. And that's where we put a lot of our images and stuff from the episodes. Now, if you like what you're listening, if you'd like to support us, if you'd like to get the episodes a week early, if you'd like to listen to some of the Patreon specific stuff for when one of these guys dies, head on over to patreon.com/greenboxgaming
Wait, what?
for when
Who's
one of
dying?
them dies. Head on over there and join us. We would love to have you, and we really appreciate your very generous contributions. To that end, I would like to welcome a new person. I would like to welcome, if I can freaking find them. There they are. Anne, welcome
Oh,
to the
thank you.
group.
Man,
Welcome.
Thanks,
We
Anne.
really appreciate it, Anne.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, guys.
We
appreciate
make
it.
pumpkin cakes an honorary member.
We have to do something. Pumpkin Cake's always here with us live.
I hereby decree, pumpkin cakes, you are an honorary member.
So
of
say
our
we all.
guild.
Yeah. But guys,
Here.
thank you for being here today. For those of you who are watching live, we will be back. We're going to break. And we're going to be back for our next one. But besides that, everyone else, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching the VODs. And as always, please stay safe. And stay safe. Bye.